I never thought I'd be standing in the middle of our office lobby, while two police officers escorted my coworker out in handcuffs, screaming obscenities, kicking over a potted plant, and promising to sue every last one of us. But here we are. Let me know in the comments if you've ever dealt with something like this. I'd love to hear your story. And Chris Patrick, BAL. It all started about 6 months ago when we hired Bryce. Bryce was something else. He was hired as a process improvement specialist, which is corporate speak for, we don't really know what he does, but he's supposed to save us money. He came in on his first day wearing sunglasses indoors, carrying a venti frappuccino, and calling everyone chief. At first, it was funny, like, who was this guy? But by the end of his first week, the red flags were impossible to ignore. He parked in the manager's reserved spot on day one. Hey, nobody was using it, he said, as though that made it okay. He borrowed office supplies from everyone's desks, and when someone politely asked for their stapler back, he said, "Relax, I'll bring it back, maybe." He walked around with a Bluetooth headset and pretended to take calls, loudly dropping phrases like Q4 projections and circle back on that synergy, when it was painfully obvious no one was actually on the other end of the line. And somehow, he kept getting away with it. At first I assumed management was just ignoring him, but then it became clear they were scared of him, like actually scared. He made weird comments to everyone about people's appearances, their work, even their families. Nothing outright enough to go to HR, but just creepy enough to make people avoid him. Then the petty theft started. First, someone's lunch went missing from the fridge, a whole steak dinner that Kyle's wife had packed for him. Then, people noticed cash missing from wallets, gift cards disappearing from desks. No one could prove anything, but everyone suspected Bryce. One morning, I came in early and caught him rifling through my desk drawer. He didn't even look guilty, he just winked at me and said, "Inventory check, you passed." That was when I started documenting everything. If you're enjoying the story so far, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more wild office drama stories. It really helps out the channel. Over the next month, I kept a little folder with notes about every weird thing Bryce did. I started leaving little traps in my own desk. A $10 bill tucked under a folder, an old gift card. Sure enough, both disappeared within days. Other coworkers started coming to me with their own stories. Bryce had tried to sell a company printer on Craigslist. He charged a consulting fee to help a temp set up her computer. He even stole someone's shoes from under their desk during lunch. Their shoes. And still, management didn't do anything. Then, one Thursday morning, the big blow-up happened. We were in a team meeting when Bryce stormed in late, as usual, with a duffel bag slung over his shoulder. He plopped it down on the table, looked around, and said, "I don't know which one of you did it, but I'm done playing nice." "Who stole my stuff?" We all just stared at him. "What are you talking about, Bryce?" Our manager, Linda, asked. My merchandise. My private property. Somebody went through my things." Linda tried to calm him down, but he just kept getting louder. Then, and I swear this is true, he unzipped the duffel bag and dumped it onto the conference table. Out tumbled dozens of unopened packages of office supplies, stolen company phones, gift cards, even a half-eaten steak wrapped in foil. We all just gawked at him. "See," he shouted. "Evidence! Someone's trying to frame me with all this crap in my bag." Linda finally said, "Bryce, that's our stuff. That's company property." And that's when he completely lost it. He threw the chair he was sitting in, stormed out of the meeting room, and started screaming at everyone in the office about how we'd ruined his life and had no idea who you're messing with. So, is there a certain lesson to the best of the best we can do? Is there anything like that? He started knocking over monitors, sweeping papers off desks. At that point, Linda called building security, and then the police. It took 15 minutes for them to show up, and in that time, Bryce barricaded himself in the break room and started live streaming on his phone, ranting about corporate corruption and evidence of a conspiracy, while holding up the half-eaten steak like it was proof. When the officers finally arrived, he tried to make a break for it, sprinting out of the break room, shoving past people, knocking over one of those big water cooler jugs, and nearly slipping himself. They caught him in the lobby and wrestled him into cuffs while he screamed about wrongful arrest and how he was going to sue everyone, including the janitor, for emotional damages. I'll never forget the sight of him being let out, tie hanging halfway off, one shoe missing, and still shouting, "This isn't over. I know people. You'll all be sorry." The whole office was dead silent for about 30 seconds after the door closed. Then Kyle just said, "Hey, does this mean I can get my steak back now?" We all laughed for the first time in weeks. That was the last we ever saw of Bryce. HR sent out some bland email about an incident and a personnel change the next day. But to this day, I keep my desk door locked. If you want more stories about unhinged coworkers, wild HR disasters, and unbelievable office chaos, stay tuned to the Office Drama Daily YouTube channel. I've got plenty more where this came from. Oh, yes.